Clement, you can go ahead.
Oh, hi.
Are we live now?
Yes.
All right. Hi, everybody.
Hi,
Hello,
hi.
all the hello, hi, all the divers out there and operator and all the people who love the ocean so much. So I'm kind of a moderator for today's session. Thank you for edX invited us for this session on one ocean, one industry, one community. Yeah. So while we're waiting for John to come in, today we have a special pioneer. Is our living legend of in scuba dive industry, none other than Mr. Clement Lee.
Thank you.
So yeah, welcome again, Clement Lee. So I was watching for the live session just now. For the previous session is quite amazing, and yeah, it's a very good to have everybody on the same industry together with all the divers and dive pro. So while we're waiting for John, Clement, I would like to ask you, what is your we have been locked down for 60 over days, and what is your experience during this pandemic? I know you did some dive, and I'm sorry that I can't join you during that time. Yeah, so maybe you can share a little bit like how you feel diving after being locked down for about 60 over days. Yeah,
Okay,
over to you.
I'll be happy to share actually. Now, first of all, we must realize that during this COVID lockdown, or in Malaysia we call it movement control orders, that in these 60 days that we have changed the total landscape at all. The way we think, the way we behave, the way we eat, the way we take care of hygiene, our children, education, and so on. Now, it's so important that that we must learn at least some valuable lesson from this lockdown. And from now onward, I don't think we are going to be able to do the normal routine we used to do. And as a matter of fact, I think if we have not already done so, learn to adjust ourselves to the change era. I think we in the dive industry actually were doing pretty well in 2019, but 2012 kind of wiped it out. So it appears that that in this COVID-19 era, everybody loses. There's no winner at all, but not true. It is really not true. There is one winner, which is more crucial for us to sustain our dive industry. That is the ocean environment. The ocean environment have actually got what I call the deserved rest for 3 months. As an example, yeah, like Monica had just mentioned, I did go for the diving after the closure for 3 months. And what I saw was a message to me actually. The better visibility, more importantly, there's no garbage and everything is clean, and plenty more marine life, happy marine life. And they are all, they are flourishing. And I want to give you an example. I was on the sandy bottom looking at a school of catfish, the small little catfish. The normal thing they will do, they see the diver, they will swim away. But this school of catfish actually float to the mid-water and start following me. As a result, I did take a lot of magic picture. I think I like those pictures that I have taken. And probably this small little catfish before the MCO, what they call, perhaps never met any diver before for 3 months, and they were so curious. So this kind of thing is like giving a big injection to the ocean. And I think this is so important. I like to continue to maintain to see this kind of situation. I think it is so important. You, they, and every diver want to see all happy day, happy marine life underwater and plenty of them. I think that uh, it will lead us to know to do the next important thing is how do we continue to be able to sustain it. I think this is crucial. Therefore, I say in this COVID lockdown, we have learned the lesson. We have to change. We have to change our thinking, our liking, our way we do things. And I think everything will have to be attuned to protection and conservation, which I think we talk about it a little more later, environment, and make sure that what we see now, we can see 10 years, 20 years, and in the future for our great grandchildren, even to be able to see. I think this is very crucial. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you, Clement. So, yeah, right after everyone suffering, said that cannot go for diving during the MCO during the pandemic, and everyone just watched the ocean from far. The industry that especially in Sabah, a lot of scuba dive operator, they can't resume, they can't continue the business during that time. So yeah, even though the community that relying on the scuba dive industry as well as suffering at the same time. So yeah, maybe I would like to share a little bit about my experience. Right after 65 days, I went out for diving, and like Mr. Clement said, it was amazing. There's no garbage. Right from we depart from the JT, there's no garbage. We stopping in two island. There's no garbage as well. The water was so clear. 15 to 20-meter visibility is unbelievable. It's really I never diving in just just behind our backyard in that kind of situation. Yeah, and the marine life was flourishing, flowering, blooming, and there's so many school of species of fishes. And I have one experience, Clement, I would like to share with you. For as a scuba diver for 20 over years, my job is influence more people, more youngsters and youth to be a scuba diver in our community, in our industry. I've been diving in Tunku Abdurrahman Park back in just nearby in KK City. I never experienced um, dive was circling by a cobia fish.
Hmm.
Cobia, it was three of them cobia. One of my friends taking advanced open water, he got shocked and he almost want to give up. He almost want to shoot up. He thought it's a big shark, and actually it's not. So it's so amazing. And my last dive in Gaia Island, right after the rain, the storm, heavy rain, one eagle ray popped out from the sea. I'm so sad that I can't video. That's why I have my eagle ray behind me to celebrate the ocean week today. So all right, Clement, maybe John have something to say as well to our audience. Hi, John.
Hi, John.
Yeah.
Um, no, okay.
I know today is our last day of celebrating our ocean weeks with edX. Maybe you have some notes, some message to our one ocean, one industry, one community out there before I proceed my question to Mr. Clement Lee. John, over to you.
I want to be in line. This is where I started it. That I did mention it in the opening ceremony when the COVID is start, and we had to announce it. After the announcement of the ADEX is going to be postponed from the 17th of April. There is a lot of different viewers from the different people have like, why we are worried about it. Last time we still go ahead. Why you stop? why you are postponing the date. The date should be go ahead. If you wait for it, it will never happen. That if you so like some say that it's good, some say, so like it is suddenly everything is stopped. So then I look at it, the whole industry itself is like what just now Clement say, is everywhere is suffering. Everywhere is not only us, it's a dive industry, and because of trouble related on that. So that's the time that I'm really glad that I got a text message from Clement that we happen to be we taught each other, and Clement mentioned about the dive industry suffering. We have to do something about it. So that is make me really a wake up call for me that I rather waiting for this storm to be over, or I should do something for the industry. I take it myself as a dive industry I'm a media player, as an event player. So like I have to always have to be a neutral, and I need to be a part of this industry to support that. So like I think that is the only way to do is had to be a once because of is our the reason that I really look at it, our industry is always being we have a very passionate about oceans, very passionate community, divers are very passionate about ocean, even though industry players are very passionate about sports, very passionate about ocean. It is good, but sometimes our industry is we are not thinking about how to grow our community. Our community don't big, that means our industry will not grow as well. So that's the reason why when you are not grow industry not big, what happened was our industry player is not growing. So you don't give a chance for the new player to come in, the young player to come in. So if you are not industry is not big enough, you will be happen to be compete each other and have to be do a lot of the things on it. So what we should learn from here is that we have to do together. Clement message was really like it's really good for me that so we have to do something to help industry, and I want to be part of this. I want to start this, and then I really want so like I decided to do that. This is the online expo. It's online expo not just for the particular itself, just for the only that we support only for the famous speakers or only for so like as long as there is a passion on it, you can share things that so people can learn. There is an unlimited because of ADAS only can do 3 days. This is something that an ADAS speaker, we have 160 speakers. Every speaker can speak only 20 minutes. This is the best for us to do this platform is that now every session we can have a 1 hour or 40 minutes, at least a speaker can share, and we can invite speakers from everywhere from the worldwide that is come on board. People can listen, and also they may not have a time for listening this every single thing because it's keep going, but they can stick it. We have a record in the Facebook. People can really listen again. So something that is something that we want to, and also not just a platform itself. I need to really have to think about it, how to support like what Clement said earlier on, like ocean is healthy now. So I want my industry players to be don't think that is it. Our industry is not a sunset industry. Our industry is I would say it's a very unique, a lot of passion. It's created this thing. So like I really think that the passion is always what is it's a lot of passion behind. All we have to do is we all have to change one thing is that think about how do we work together. It's not think about always being a competitor. It's myself being I got being accused. I got being people put me as I have a competitor. I don't have a competitor. I never think of my competitor. People put it in a position to me that I'm competing with, but I am doing something that I will do it. If I had to do it for history purpose, I have to do for something that I have to do to support the industry. And when I support industry means I cannot just say I support it. When you think about it, you really want to support industry. We need to create more community. This is what I'm trying to do. Community is so important for us. If I cannot grow the community, our industry cannot survive. So like I think the divers, so I need to keep creating on it. So like we have to be a mindset or not just for the open up for diver mindset, non-diver, how to become a diver. Other sport related like so people even though mermaid can be a free divers can be all water sports are all related. It's also so like we have to start thinking about really have to think about not just the saying is one, but I think we have to think about one. After that, the next level is to be we have to be a mindset of how to be a short-term goal and mid-term goals and long-term goals. Long-term goals should be keep promoting ocean and keep educating on conservation for the young generation. And the most important part is the collaboration. This one means collaborate. We have to collaborate each other. We cannot be like, oh, because of he from where, he from this, in the color, because of that. We should be forget about all these things. This is the best time for us to wake up. If we are still not wake up, I'm a position of where I am. We are all the same now. Nobody can go out, even though you are the most popular person. You are stay at home. So what I'm trying to say, we should be start thinking about it. Why is you say that, oh, people know me, but people know you, but you are staying at home. Everybody is staying at home. So how you want to stay at home? How you want to contribute to the people who don't know this? If you are already educated, you should share your education. This is where the platform is all about. I'm very appreciative and thank you for all our speakers, because that is where you can share your knowledge. That I always say nobody know everything. This is something that this is the platform that even though I've been watching it, I'm learning something that I don't know, so that we can learn from each other from that. And another important part, not just a collaboration, is for the long-term goal for the industry, is that we need to start young generation to be educated on it. The first, they have to love the ocean. After they love the ocean, sure, they will start diving on it. So my philosophy is try to love the ocean. Yeah. Okay, Clement, I think I will let Clement today. Clement have a very good idea about how the industry move forward. The things because he have an experience in the industry, and I always been very much. I listen to Clement because he's a very positive. Every time I see him, he talk to me everything positive. In the industry, like a lot of negative and positive. I want to listen more positive on this. So like. Every minute that I sit down with Clement or I talk to him, I hear from him the positive message from him. So like I learning a lot from him as well. For me,
yeah. Thank you so much, John. Thank you very much. Yeah, I really like the topic One Ocean. Why? Because from my point of view, One Ocean, all of us as divers, nuclear, you just swimming, kayaking, canoeing, anything you do activity with the ocean, we are actually connected to the one and only ocean. So one industry, anyone doing the dive resort, the scuba dive operator, you are the dive pro, dive instructor, course director, dive master, we are in the same industry. So for the one community, anyone living the life by the cost of the ocean, livelihoods, finding food, anything, businesses, fishery, is all related to one community. It doesn't mean that you are a scuba diver or you are not the community. No, that's wrong. So one community means from the young until the pioneer, until the living legend. We are in the one industry. So I was very agree with what John said. We have to come together. We have to work together. It's nothing after the MCO, after the pandemic. It's nothing about you or me or him or he. Ourselves alone. No, it's no more like that. So we have to stay together, work together, and hang on together. So yeah, Clement, I want to continue my question to you. So as a pioneer in the scuba diving, you are not only well known in Sabah, not only Malaysia, but the whole world. You have inspired a lot of people around the world. So just for a short short sharing, what is your view about the dive market, especially in Malaysia nowadays? Over to you, Clement.
Thank you very much. Indeed, yeah, diving is actually in my heart. I've been diving for 38 years now, but I would like to mention here specifically that this pandemic is a universal issue. It's affecting everybody here, America, Europe, Japan, everywhere. And therefore, it makes the dye market worldwide a lot more tougher to compete. Why? Because we probably will be aiming and targeting for the same pool of divers. So in order to get a good share to the dye market, you have to prepare yourself to be better than the best. All right. Now back into Malaysia. Let's not talk about the world first. Let's draw back to Malaysia. The dive industry or the dive operation had just been reopened under the program called the Recovery Movement Control Order or RMCO. So, but it only allows for domestic only. So, meaning that the dive market is kind of limited to Malaysian local divers only, right? Now, how do we do that? This market is shrink? No, every one of us have to think positive. We all started from small to big. We have the beginning, so to speak. But the advantage we had is we knew the market was there. It's just how we are going to tap onto it. Therefore, we must have some competitive edge. If I remember correctly, in Malaysia, the general tourism receipt from the diver a year is more than 1 billion. That was 2019 and before. But it looks like in 2020, it's going to be wiped out on this one. Now, everything beginner is tough. But just remember one thing. We have been there. And we know how to reach it. But this time, with the advantage of what we have seen so far in our 3 months under the COVID period, we have to learn. We have to start all over again, and we have to start on the right footing. Whatever we have done wrong, we correct it and make it right. We have to do justice to the Malaysian diving industry. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, Clement. Thank you for sharing that very, very positive notes. Like John said, Clement is super positive. Yeah, I like to talk to him as well. All right. So, Clement, then as a ex dive operator for many years, so our dive operator, especially in Sabah, not only Sabah but around Malaysia as well, facing a lot of dilemma. And then so I would like to ask you, what is your advice and recommendation for all the dive operator, not only Malaysia, but of course around Southeast Asia? Maybe you can share a little bit. What is your advice and also recommendation for them to keep on going? Yeah, over to you, Clement. Thank you.
Thank you. As I mentioned just now, we are just starting to resume the operation in the diving industry. But I want to ask you one thing, all the dive operators and the dive industry player, communication. Have you been in touch with all your clientele or your friends and your customer during this inactive period of 3 months during the COVID-19 era? Because if you have not done so, you have adopted an outside our mind attitude, and that is very wrong. So you must actually communicate with each and every one of them to show that you care. You want to establish contact. You want to continue the business. You want to continue to be friends with them and tell them what you have here in Malaysia and keep updating them all the time. You know what it is called? This is the term I use all the time in my 30 over years of diving business. Relationship marketing. This word, please remember that relationship marketing means a lot to your customer, to your wholesaler. It is so important that you don't miss this point. If you have not already done so, keep doing it now. Now, I want to also mention that, secondly, that we just resume the operation. Don't rush. Just don't rush the whole thing. Be prepared. Be prepared and plan well ahead for your operation, how you want to run it, how you want to do it, and so on. I know it is in this time, we all operators, dive industry player, a kind of financial problems issue. Therefore, I must say that I must quote one term in a moment. Probably cash is more important than the cash flow. Now, cash is more important than the profit. What I mean. So, in other words, for me, I would suggest you to offer good competitive packages, but don't reduce the price. How? What I mean, I give you an example. If you are taking out divers for a 3 dive for 250, say, a day, you can offer the 4th dive for free. This is also a discount without changing the monetary value, 250 ringgit. For the dive resort, let's say if you are offering a 4-day for 2,000 ringgit package, or for the 5th day for free. This is to encourage for a kickstart. What should I do? What should I say? A kickstart for the industry to keep going. Everybody do that. So this is important. Just remember one thing. Just remember one thing. Mass tourism is not for the dive industry. That's why I always use the code word less is more. Less people is actually easier to handle, but we give you money for value, value for money kind of packages. So this is very important. Now we have a good start. We have a 3-month rest, and we can start quickly. Just this morning, some dive operator, famous, big guys, they tell me that they are actually operating or begin operating only on 1st of July. Listen, we already started the operation, but they waited until 1st of July. Why? Because they want to get themselves super ready for the market. I think this is wise. So in other words, we are all working hard. We must work smart as well. The other thing that is so important is, just like John has partially mentioned, we have to stand together. We have to work together. One person cannot blow up to the market, but many people can. So we have to work together in terms of, say, example, cost sharing, cross marketing. Give you an example. If you have a daily boat to go out diving, and under the SOP, you can only allow 5-6 diver, but you cannot get 5 or 6 diver every day. So if you have 2 divers, you do not want to go out because the cost of operation will be high. Pass it on to the next divers. This is the kind of cooperative we have, and this is a win-win situation. Now, there are a lot of things that we could do during the beginning of this operation. So my advice to the dive operator is that please adhere to the SOP, because customer will be watching you, will be watching how you operate. If you are operating a safe and friendly and according to SOP kind of environment, they will be happy to come back. And let me tell you one thing. Divers are normally in the affordable bracket of people, and they will be happy to go into the water they missed for the last 3 months, just like golfing. They want to go do golfing. However, we should not take this as an advantage in the sense that we still have to treat them as a valuable customer. And from then on, you can proceed to go on the longer planning and under the domestic tourism. And it will grow. Remember I said just now, we were there before, we can be there. whatever you do now until you reach in the era time, you should not sacrifice anything or compromise anything on the safety aspect, on the environmental conservation aspect, and so on. As I said just now, we must do justice to the Malaysian underwater world. Thank you.
Thank you, Clement. Thank you so much. Yeah. What a good sharing. Right. Okay. I really agree with what Mr. Clement Lee said, that because of the RMCO, currently most of the dive operator are allowed to do to resume the business now, but with the limited tourists and limited people in one boat. So yeah, I do agree with you, Mr. Clement. If the relationship between the dive operator, the relationship between the dive pro are so important now, because we really need to work together during this hard time. Like you say, whoever get, maybe because in Sabah, I'm not sure other states. In Sabah, in one boat you only allowed to have 4 divers in one boat. There's been 4 guests in one boat. So during that time, let's say if I'm the dive operator, I got a 6 person to dive, but I only can take 4. So that 2 diver I can pass to my friends who doing the same business, the dive operator. So maybe I can pass to Richard, I can pass to Borneo divers, or any dive operator that are doing the business during this pandemic time, during this RMCO. All right, so I think we don't have much time. John, once again, I want to ask you maybe one last question, because we don't have much time. Like I see in our chat group, yeah. So, John, I would like to ask you, as Clement said, a big fan of ADEX. What do you think about the future? I mean, in coming year 2021, what do you see? What do you foresee about our ocean and conservation? I mean, generally, yeah.
Generally, you want to see next year, you have to look at how many young generations is talking about it. If you want to see the future far, I think if there are a lot of young, you can see yesterday we have a lot of youth top speakers, a PhD from the students and all those. They are really well, they really research, they do very well about ocean and all this. And I like to think positive as well. I see that the ocean is healthy now. Divers are hungry. They want to go back to dive. And I think our industry got a lot of future on that. And I think we will be a busy industry. And the more we just have to be open-minded for all the industry player and say, oh, they are not diver, they don't know anything. We have to change this mindset. I mean, when I was 20 years ago, my first attended ADEX, and I think I was just a visitor at the time, not as a. So I see a lot of what I learned from there is that people only interested to focus on who I know, what I know as just for this industry, not go and bring in from the industry. So when I have a challenge I face when I start bringing from the different interests. So for example, I started to introduce a mermaid, and then 5-6 years ago, some they say, hey, they are not diver, why you bring? They just but now they got a lot of the passion behind the ocean on it. They got a lot of conservation that they thought they bring different insurance. So any aspect is good for us that you want to grow. We should open up for more to be interested in our sports, to be more interested in our ocean. That is how we can grow our industry and business together, grow together. And I still don't want to trust myself that people say, this will be our new normal. I don't think so, because this is something that people, the minute you say we can go for the medicine, we have a medicine that is so easy to just go and take it. You think people were scared of? It's like it become another flu medicine, right? So once you say that there is a people already a medicine, people are doing it. There is so many when you really follow on the COVID thing, people are doing that. Once the COVID thing came, and the best part is when you go diving, you don't need a social distancing. You can hold hand to dive in underwater. So like I read that is something that is a lot of potential in our industry, and I think how we behave, like Clement said, and also not that everything is when you start people or everybody want to go there, and we have to be how to manage it for ourselves there. So like this is the best time for us to learn a lot of from there, and then once you are start busy, we will be I really see that is that we will be our industry player will be really busy, but keep contributing not just at the dive media, not just for the dive, and only a certificate player. Every even though you are a normal dive center from anywhere, you should be keep contributing on the ocean conservation, keep education on the your community, your students, your anything that so that we can grow together. So that means you also contributing to a community that how we can grow together. That is what I think that is a conservation. It's all have to be paid. It's no nothing is a quick fix that. So like we got a problem now. I can fix it within 1 month. I think there is no solution for us. We have to be patient, and even we can say the short-term solution. What is the short-term solution? Is stay even though open up an individual country, it's still not open up for the travelings. You still will not get any overseas divers going to your food yard. So like how you are growing yourself to be your locally, you have to start believing yourself to build it now. That is the best time for us to building ourselves to locally to be united together. That is what I want to do that from my home itself is where I base here. That is where I want to start with the Singapore industry to be try to do it as put it all things together to go next step forward.
Yeah. All right. Thank you, John. Such a good sharing ideas and then a comment from you. So yeah, back to I mean from my point of view about like some people like what you said, they think about, oh, you are not the diver, you are not you don't know what we're talking about, you don't know what's happening, you don't know what is going on in dive industry about ocean, about conservation. I do have that kind of friends around my community, on and off. But for myself, I mean, as one of the influence woman diver, safety conscious in Sabah, so I don't look down to, I don't comment, I don't judge to anyone that who can't swim and who never get close to the seawater, and then some of the rural youth that they don't even have experience what is the taste of the seawater, and some of them they not even been to the beach. How is the feeling walking barefoot by the beach? They have this kind of people in Sabah actually. So when I give talk in some talk in the rural community in my hometown, so I don't judge them, which we, not only me, but all of us as an ocean lover, we should encourage them, inspire them, and try to find an opportunity, a chance to bring them out to see the ocean. You know, that's the thing I think we should do as to work together as a one community. We don't judge people. Maybe some because from since 2016, yeah, since 2016, I myself has been inspired those girls friends that cannot swim, they're scared of drown, they don't even know how to snorkeling, but I have inspired them, encouraged them to be a diver. I think more than 100 over friends until now. So I do agree with you, John, and Clement Lee as well. So don't judge and don't discourage them. Keep on encourage them and be positive, so that they can be part of us in the one ocean, one industry. They can't be a dive operator, but they can encourage their family or community around them to be part of this one community. So I think we gonna end soon. But my last question, the same question I would like to ask Mr. Clement Lee. What do you think? What is your thought about ocean and conservation? Yeah,
Uh,
over to you.
thank you, Monica. Um, I just want to ask you a very simple question. What is the most quickest way of communication in this era? I think if you ask this question to a lot of people, most of the time, most of the people will flip out the handphone and say, "Okay, handphone." You may be right, but you're not always right. Let me tell you one thing. If you put one finger, John, that finger at your back of the water, and dip it into the water, you know what? You're immediately connected to more than 70% of this globe. Why? Because 70% of this globe is underwater. And this is so crucial to us. That's why our wise man, David Dublé, has once said, if I have my will, I would call this an ocean planet. If 30% on the landmass can show so much for people, you can imagine 70%. Why? It should dawn on us to protect and protect and protect this 70% that is underwater. The good news for the dive industry is that, hey, we have already got the end product here. 70% of this world is water, and we bring people to the water. And therefore, I think we have to work together in order to make sure that we see now, we see in 10, 20 years, and we see in future. I like my grandson Nathan to see what I saw or what I have been seeing all the time too. But this is very crucial. Therefore, the end product is actually free. It's just that you have to protect it in order to sustain it. That is so important. Ocean planet. And back to the topic, yes, we have only one ocean, no others. And we have one industry, dive industry, and we have also one community. We're getting the community work together. Take off your ego, work together. I think this is very crucial. I think we all have to learn this and eat together. I always say one person cannot. 1 million people can. So that means if we work together, we can achieve the impossible. So this is the message I'd like to share across over this session. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Clement. Thank you so much. Such a wow, very touch my soul of that kind of comment. Yeah, I think we are end of the session now. Yeah, so
I would say that last word there is that we have to start all from within ourselves. Start with within ourselves before we teach people or we learn something. We learn ourselves. The second one is our community. Our community, then is the third one. I should give it to my industry, and we can achieve to that higher level. All within ourselves. Change ourselves first. Yeah.
Indeed.
Yeah. So before we end this session, I would like to tell our audience out there, thank you for listening. And guys, remember, although you are diver or non-diver or you're scared of the ocean, it doesn't matter. Whatever has been done past is over. So now is the new restart. We have to look into ourselves. Even though you can't do, you tell yourself, even though you can't do anything, but the first step is from ourselves. So for the plastic pollution, is all start from us, and only us can stop it. So if you can reduce your consumption of single-use plastic, you can help our ocean planet. Okay, so thank you so much for all the listener, our audience, our edX fans all over the world. Thank you. And like Clement said, wherever we are around the globe, which ocean that we are dive with this one finger, when we back roll to the water, we are diving in the same ocean. We are one family in the one ocean, in one industry and one community. So thank you so much for all the listener, and thank you, John. Thank you so much, and Clement Lee. Thank you.
Thank you.
See you soon.
Thank you, John. Cheers, man. Yeah.
Stay on. We need a selfie.